As many of you guys know, that we have been, I guess we're 18 months now into a process of acquiring land, 5 acres from Herbertsville Road. Here are some photos. This is the architectural drawings of the building that we're trying to build over there. It's been a long process. We just did a fundraising campaign in the fall to raise our final $1 million. Here are the numbers that we are at right now. Whoops. 429,943 has come in. That's huge. That's huge for our small church. That's huge. And that's from 95 donors, individuals or families. And so we're almost there. We're getting there to $1 million. We're getting there, and I believe that soon after we cross that 100 donor mark, something's going to happen. So if you haven't been able to participate, even if it's only a few dollars, I would encourage you to do that. I also want Bob Daber, who's heading up our building project, to give us an update on what's going on with the permit situation. So give it up for Bob.
Hey, good morning, church. So if you remember back at the end of last year, we talked through sort of the cadence of events that we were expecting to happen. And so in November, we submitted our application back in, responding to the feedback from the planning board. And we said it could be as early January that they would get us scheduled, or we would be as late as March. And so they did take the full 45 days in reviewing our application, but it was deemed partially complete, which means we are now at the point of receiving the fee schedule. Once we pay those fees, we get on the calendar, and so we anticipate still that we'll be able to have that formal hearing before the end of March. So this was one of those big milestones. We were able to cross it, which is exciting. So right now, we're just waiting on that fee schedule. We had some calls out last week. We anticipate we'll be able to get that paid very quickly, and then we'll get a date. And then at that point, we will be sending out those notifications to all the neighbors and preparing for the actual formal hearing before the town, where because we went through this earlier process, we're not anticipating any more roadblocks, right? The kind of the pre-application phase is where we're able to work out a lot of those details where they had questions or concerns to make sure that the application had all the information that they were going to need to make that decision. And so with that said, we anticipate being able to share that formal hearing soon, what that date is. And then one of the other things as we enter this phase, we're going to be thinking about kicking off all of the subcommittees that we're going to need. So we've got the layouts as was shown here for the building, but there's a lot of decisions now and details that need to be made. And so as we get closer to that hearing, you'll be hearing more from us with respect to what that sign-up process will look like, what those subcommittee teams will be. Things like, what do we need our kids in our kids wing to have successful ministry? The open lobby and that central area. What are some of the design aspects that we want to have? The tech team and the sound and for worship. You know, there'll be all these different teams where we make sure we get those requirements, and then as we work with the builders and get things priced and scoped out, we make sure we hit those requirements. And so that's the update we have. Very exciting that we made it past this milestone. And we'll have an update hopefully in the next couple of weeks with respect to when that hearing date is, if everything goes well with hearing back from the town on the fees. So thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Give it up for Bob. Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. My hope and prayer is still June of 2026 that we're moving in there.